Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's January 25th, which is Saturday, right? So this is the weekend. So what are we talking about? Well, I thought since I did a deep dive yesterday into like a personal development thing, we kind of switch back, try another business. And that is partnerships. Why do some partnerships work and other ones fail miserably? We'll go into that and more. Alrighty, welcome back. If you didn't already know it, my name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekend. We have the weekday, Monday through Friday. We normally talk a lot of business stuff that will help you, hopefully. And then on the weekends, I go off the rail. But I kind of went off the rail yesterday on a Friday, so I thought, well, let's get back on the rail and do one that a few of you have asked about, and that is how do I approach partnership? And my biggest advice would be very cautiously. And why is that? You know, partnerships can actually be really good. But the problem that I see develop is there's not a well written out plan. The partners get along great for the first year or two, and then they start squabbling over what they want to do next. And best friends come to hate each other. I'm serious. If you want to ruin a friendship quick, go into a partnership with one. Because there's going to be some point in time where it's just not going to work, right? So, how do a lot of partnerships come about? A partnership is good if one complements the other, all right? And what do I mean by that? I mean, if one is a good baker and you want to have a bakery, and the other is good at customer service, being out front with the customers, it works, right? Unless the one in back, the baker, starts feeling like they're doing so much work and the one out front isn't doing as much. See, now there's different levels of partnerships. You know, a partnership doesn't mean it has to be 50-50. You know, we all think that well, if you're my partner, it's a 50-50, give and take, and that's not always the case. One partner might bring more to the table than the other, and that has to be realized. But a lot of times when partnerships are formed, there's nothing there to gauge how much one is going to be doing versus what the other one's going to be doing, right? And if the bakery ends up being the baker is doing the boatload of the work, coming in 3 hours earlier, staying later, cleaning up, then the partnership has to change a little bit, right? Unless both partners are coming in an hour and a half earlier and helping each other get everything together, and then they're both staying late and getting the whole place cleaned up. You see what I'm saying? But that's just one type of partnership. Another type of partnership is where someone has an idea and has the drive, ambition, and the willingness to give it everything. But the one thing they lack is financial. And they're not good at financial. So you partner with someone that A is financial, B has the money to float the business, to get it up and running. They're both starting out with high risk, right? Nothing is saying that that business is going to make it. Each one is putting something up, and the one that's got the idea and the drive and all that, they could put in a lot of time and then have it flop and be out their time, right? Same thing with the financial guy. He could put in a chunk of money and he could end up with, or she could end up with no return on their investment. See, one thing that I found with a lot of people that have great ideas and the drive and all that stuff, either A, don't have time to keep track of the money, or B, don't have the skill set to. And that's where you want someone that does know. If you're running that bakery and the baker is baking loaves of bread to be sold out front, there is a lot that goes into getting that loaf of bread to out front, right? So you have to price it right so that the bakery's making money, right? But you can't price it too high. Nobody's going to buy your bread. That's where somebody that has a financial background and even better has a bakery background would be ideal. Just because a person has a financial background does not make them a good partner. Let me explain that right now. If you got a great idea and you just lack the funds, don't go looking for any Tom, Dick, and Harry that can lend you the money to get you going. It's not going to work. But if I were going to start a bakery and I had the skill set to do the back end and the bakery stuff, I would try partnering with someone that did have a financial history, that understood money, but also understood bakery. That's the catch. That they also understand running a bakery and how to run a bakery. And hopefully that they've done it successfully before. And what do I mean by before? I mean it could be that someone had been running the financials for a bakery for years, has the means because they've saved their money and they're willing to back the baker that wants to start up, but they want to be partners with them. That could be an ideal win-win because the one has got the skill set in that industry and also understands price points and how even 10 cents will break the deal on a loaf of bread. And a lot of times they know marketing, how to market that bread. Is it organic bread? Because organic sells for so much more, right? But you're using organic flour, organic harvested wheat. It's more costly to make organic bread, but the price point is usually better if you're in an area where people want to eat healthy. So that type of partnership could work. They don't need to be buddy buddies or best, Betsies. They just need to know where their lane is, if that makes any sense. But how do you make sure that a partnership actually works? Because if you want that partnership to actually work, everything has to be spelled out. The more details you can get, the better it is. Who is responsible for what? The baker out back is responsible for coming in early, getting stuff ready, and doing the baking, packaging and sending it up front. And the other partner is retail experience, customer service experience, social media marketing, all those things out front. And is bringing a lot of customers through the door. So both are winning because they're both staying in their lanes. And I'm not saying that the one out front can't go back and help the one that's in back at times if they're getting overloaded. Or that if the baker out back has got a lot of bread, but the guy out front needs some help because there's too many customers and there's two cash registers there, to go out front and help push people through and get the bread sold. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, each partner needs to know what their responsibility is in the business, and there has to be some kind of a way to measure each aspect from each partner to see whether it comes into a 50-50, or is there going to be one that's 51-49 making the decisions, holding, or is it going to be a 80-20, 70-30? It's all got to be decided up front. Now, can it change? Yeah, as long as both partners are willing to make the changes. And I'll be honest, I think it needs to be a legal document. It needs to be spelled out and signed by both in front of an attorney, stating this is what the expectations are. So that 6 months down, the partner starts squabbling, there's a legal document that says, this is what you're responsible for, and this is what you're responsible for. Where is the problem coming from? If it's coming from the one partner or the other partner, then we need to figure out why and get it rectified as fast as possible. But I also seen other partnerships that start out as a good partnership and then have one get lazy. And what do I mean by lazy? There's no spelled out of what each one brings to the table, okay? So they're both got retail experience, they both got bakery experience, they both are bakers, and they're going to go into business together to make money running a bakery. And then the one guy doesn't show up half the time, leaving the one guy with their employees scrambling to try to get stuff done. Meanwhile, the other one that's lazy, that you could find sitting or not doing the social media aspect or this or that, still wants their cut at the end of the month, at the end of the year ends, of the profits. Again, it needs to be spelled out. And most growing businesses will take the profits that they have at the year end for the first couple of years and reinvest that back into the business. And that might mean buying the location or updating equipment or buying in bulk to save money. See what I'm saying? Or they might want to start a second location. But they damn well better have the first location figured out where both partners are doing what they're supposed to be doing and it's working. Because if it is, then just redoing what you just did in a different location sometimes works. But most times when they do like another location, what lacks is the baker is putting in a lot of extra time and they don't figure that in. In the second location, they got somebody coming in that's trying to do what the baker in the first location is doing, but isn't getting as much done as the partner, and it doesn't do as well as the primary location. And I've seen where bakers will train other people of how to do their job, and then when they get ready to start a second location, they leave that person there as the baker and will go to the second location to help get it started up and teach another person. But again, it's what I normally see is, if it's not well written out, is one is doing the boatload of the work and the other one is reaping more profits because they're not putting in the time, or they become bored with the bakery and they're calling in or they're coming in late. There's a lot of things, and there should be repercussions. And again, that should be spelled out, is if partner A is not doing what they agreed upon doing, then they don't get the higher percentage, the 50 or 49% of the profits. It's no different than having an employee. If an employee isn't doing their job, you're going to let them go and get a different employee, right? Or you're going to take that employee, and this is what the job is spelled out to be. If you can't do that job, why do you think I should pay you that much? If you're only good at 3/4, or if you're just showing up and not doing the work, why should we pay you? And that's kind of like partners. Same idea. The ones that are really, really risky are the ones where you're buying out a business and you have a partner come with it. That partnership may have worked for the two that were there and the dynamics, but there's nothing saying it's going to work for the two of you. Now, if they have the skill set, the high skill set of running equipment, and you're coming in basically as being the financial person of buying the business and taking it over. See, if you buy that one partner out, you're also buying the liabilities of anything that's could be out there too. So you want to do your due diligence. And the first thing I would do is I would sit down with the partner that's going to be left and talk with them before I even talk buying the business with the partner that wants to get out. Because if the partner that's staying, we have no common ground and there's no written out, spelled out, I'd walk. I'd run as fast as I could. If I were buying them both out, it might be a little bit different. But you also have to look at 5 years of financials. And what I can tell you is 5 years of financials will only just tell you so much. It will tell you what it's capable of doing. There's nothing that says it's 100% guaranteed that you're going to continue that income stream, because the dynamics have changed. You're the change. You may increase business or you may be the demise of the business, if that makes any sense. So when it comes to a partnership, what do I recommend? I recommend that everything is on the table. If you have any concerns, put it on the table before you guys sign into a partnership. Have each job, and that's what it's going to be. If one partner is going to be the baker, have it spelled out that that's their job. And if the other one is customer service, marketing, out front, financial, that's their job. What are they responsible for? And with a 50-50, you both have to agree before you go ahead with anything. If you have 51% controlling interest and the other with 49, it could ruffle some feathers if you just decide to make changes and the other one isn't in agreement with it. But have it all spelled out. Have an attorney draw it up. Because partnership is a legal binding entity and attorneys should draw it up. And also have, if a partner decides they want to leave, the other partner has such a period of time to buy them out. Because that may be a case. But it all needs to be spelled out. If you don't have on your partnership the ability to buy the other one out, still doesn't mean you can't add to that partnership of having that ability and having a certain amount of time to buy them out. So hopefully that's kind of helped you guys that are thinking about doing partnerships and stuff. I tried to explain it in the simplest form, but it is a complicated document. It is. And it's not one to just walk in and tread lightly. You really need a deep dive and have each partner understand what their responsibilities are and aren't. So on that note, you guys have a great Saturday, and we'll catch you here probably bright and early tomorrow morning. Again, thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for letting me be part of what's going on with you. All right, guys.